Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Give yourself a round of applause for even making it out.
Yeah.
A lot of brands in here. So today, real quickly, I want to unpack the story of some what I think are legends in the underground and kind of, hear their story and give them a chance to reflect and also tell you guys. Yeah. So without further ado, if you don't mind, let's get some introductions. You could just tell them your name and the brand you come to represent.
What's up, everyone? My name is Shmuie, and I have a clothing brand called Shmuie.
Hey.
Here. My name is Noe, and I'm coming for Ghetto Friends. Shout out Ghetto Friends.
My name is Brandon, and my brand is called New York City Gun Club.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's probably been a while, but do any of you remember the first piece you've created? And if so, like the story behind it?
So the first ever clothing piece I made was like 2.5 years ago. And it all started because I was stranded in the middle of nowhere in South Carolina on like a random ass vacation I did with my mom on spring break. And like I was stranded in this motel and I went to they had like a Michael's next door and I just picked up like a pack of thread and a needle because I was watching TikToks and shit. And I was like, this looks kind of cool, I should just try it. That ultimately led to me just like stitching on some random crew neck that I found in like a Clemson like college gift shop. And that was it. And then it started my addiction to making clothes.
Did you get like confirmation? Like someone said, this is fire, and then you like knew?
My mom said it was cool. Yeah, she said it was fire. And that was like, that's really what like did it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, her like approval was a nice feeling.
For sure. So yeah, going into high school, like I was already like kind of just like getting fly type of vibe. I was just like on that sneaker wave and like Supreme wave and all that shit. And then I met this dude made by Eric of like he that was his brand actually. He had a clothing brand. His clothing brand was like made by Eric. And I met him because he had like he was selling at QCM. He was like, yo, pull up, like I'm about to be here. Whoever want to shop up, pull up, shop up. So I pulled up and I bought a hat and I took a fit pic. And then he was like, yo, like, I fuck with you, like, where you from? And I was like, oh, I'm from Queens, Corona. And he was like, yo, where me too? And I was like fake mad hype. And he was like, yo, like pull up to my crib, like, I'm just show you some shit I got. So I pulled up and like he was just showing me how to like graphic design through Photoshop and Illustrator. And that was like my like introduction to that, and I was like, yo, what the fuck going on? Type shit. I was like I was like fucking with it heavy to the point where he stopped making clothes for like a little while, and I just kept going.
I was gonna ask, does he still have a brand?
Nah, he ran it back up now.
Okay.
Yeah, facts. Made by Eric. Like I knew how to graphic design at that point, but I didn't know how to screen print. Like that was the
change in the
that was like that was like the damn, how do I get it to a t-shirt? And I didn't really get to screen print. I kind of just did like a stencil. Like I got a plastic folder and I wrote out like the end is near. And then I just cut it out and then I went to Michael's and I got the fabric spray paint and I just like sprayed it over it.
Damn.
And I went,
Michael's.
Yeah, facts. Shout out Michael's. I've always been like trying to think like without wasting too much, like with like a $10 budget, $20. Yeah, so I took that to school and like people were fucking with it. So I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, cause it was like a good feeling when I met me by Eric and people were fucking with him.
Yeah.
And he was just showing me all this shit and I was like, yo, like, how do you do this type shit? You know? So then when I went to school, like I had that feeling and I was like, yo, this is a good feeling. So I just kept doing it and then I just like kept selling them. Like at a point in high school, it was like the school uniform type shit. Like people was fucking with it. And I was selling it for pretty cheap, like 20 a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And so I was like kind of running that up and I was skipping school because of the Supreme shit on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And that's really the only reason I was going to school, because I was just selling like t-shirts.
Make money. Yeah.
So that was like the first thing that I made, the end is near. Okay. And from there, it just like, this is what we're going to do.
What about Brandon?
All right, for me, it was, I feel like I've been making clothing, like, mostly, like, I mean, ever since I was, like, in middle school or high school, just, like, drawing, designing. But I don't think I've ever really had the confidence to drop anything or, like, show anybody anything, because I just thought in my head it just wasn't good, you know? You know, you have those second guesses every time you do something creative, and, like, you're at that point where you just, you know, you don't know if it's good enough or people are really gonna like it, you know? So, around college, around my, like, sophomore year, I did the Gun Club logo, and I just, you know, you see so many references from like the LA Gun Club logo, and I was like, New York doesn't have one. This will probably be funny. It's a little ironic too, you know, like you've seen other brands do it too, like, you know, New York City should have one, even though we're not going to have a gun range ever here, probably, you know, and if they are, they're hidden, you know?
Yeah.
So I made the logo, and I made like with a few pieces, and I would walk around with it just to see, you know, just because I liked it, you know, it was fun for me, just like screen printing and just, you know, finally putting something out that I, you know, that was funny to me. And yeah, as soon as that happened, people like just saw me like rolling around, like, you know, just walking around, and they were like, hey, like, what is that? And I'd be like, oh, like, that's my shirt, like, and they're like, can I buy one? And at the time I was like, sure, you know.
Who was the first artist to wear your
So the first person who really like put confidence in me and just like said we should start the shit is 4 or 5, and he's been my partner since basically the beginning. I mean, not the beginning, but he got involved around COVID, and he saw the hoodie. He found the hoodie at a Playboy Cardi concert on the floor.
Really?
And he was trying to like meet up with me. It's like, let's do something for like years. And at the time I was just like, I didn't really talk to him, nobody. So I was like, I paid no mind. I was like, I appreciate it, man. You know. COVID came around. He pulled up to the crib, and we just like, ever since then we locked in, you know, like he started pushing the brand. He's been helping me out. He kind of like boosted my confidence, because it's like, you know, you see more people like wearing it, you know, and it's a good feeling once you feel like, you know, you're making something that you're proud of, and just like people really appreciate, you know.
That was my next question. People are important.
Yeah.
Like, was there like one person who was pivotal? You mentioned Eric. You mentioned CM45. I don't know if there's another one. You mentioned your mom. Would you consider them mentors? Did you have a mentor? Were there any other like special people?
So, honestly, for me personally, I've never really had a mentor or anybody to really show me the ropes, or like kind of like, you know, like tell me how stuff is done, especially fashion production, whatever involves making clothing. So I kind of figured out myself, you know, kind of just like watching people or just seeing people do it. But honestly, probably the most important people in my life who actually like gave me the confidence to push stuff is probably like 4 or 5. And, you know, kid who works with me, his name's Zappo. He owns Grimy Kids.
Shout out to Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, facts.
Yeah. He started as like helping me out, like at first, you know, just a young kid. You know, and now eventually look at him now. Like he has like his own big brand that's popping off too, you know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was working under me, and just for a minute. And same as like my other, like Deadman and Vintage, like those are all like my team basically. The people I work with are the most important thing to me, you know? Like to help their careers out, you know, because people fuck with it, and they kind of have like something to like, you know, elevate themselves too with, because they're, you know,
inspiration.
Yeah. They're also like involved with the brand too, you know. They're like
they see their own goals in it as well as their goals.
Yeah, and they're part of the collective, so it's like I think it's good that, you know.
I have a question based off that. I see you have a strong team. Like, how did you build your team?
That's always been like the mindset. It's like, regardless, it was like, even if like say this shit was to blow up crazy, you're gonna have a team. So like that's always been the mindset. That's why when I'm outside, like I don't be like, yo, this is my brand type of vibe. Like it don't feel right sometimes, especially because me and my brother's, well, my brother's really the magician, but like that's like I'm saying, like building the team, it's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of trial and error though. It's a lot of ego, you know, especially when it's like your closest friends. You know, that shit sucks, because I lost a lot of friends through that shit. But it's like, you know, I guess like I learned, like during those times I learned like, you know, not everybody's gonna be there type shit.
Growing pains.
But yeah, trying to error though, like there's a lot of times where, you know, we try to step over each other and shit, but it's like, for what? You know, at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of money out here to be made that, like, you know, so, but yeah, shout out, you know, like I'm saying, Eli. He's really the magician. He's the one that like, he's really the designer, you know. And my boy, Body Your Baby, he's really like almost like the image of this shit, you know. Like, you look at his whole style, that's the brand.
Yeah.
And then me, it's like, yo, I'm pushing this shit. I'm motivating them. Like, I'm in the studio. Sometimes, like, I can feel energy sometimes. So, like, if I see somebody's down, I'm like, yo, bro, like, you gotta keep going. Or, like, I try to do different shit to motivate everybody around me.
But everybody knows their role.
But, yeah, that's the most important thing, you know?
Yeah.
And we sit down as a team and, like, just, like, talk about shit like that. Like, yo, when we, like, before, like, but now it's like every Monday we plan out a week. Like, yo, if this is what we're gonna do, this is the road we're taking, this is, you know, the Body Baby, he gotta do his artist shit. Alright, so I'm gonna be your right hand man. You know, if I'm doing this some shit like, hey, you gonna be my right hand man. So like, we just talk about shit like that, you know. I feel like those type of conversations are important.
Yeah.
Cause if you don't have those type of conversations, when you're in the spot, you just looking like, yo, what's going on? Like,
Lost.
you just lost.
And my second question was, I feel like that type of structure helps fight burnout. And you're someone who stays extra consistent. So how do you fight burnout? And I want to hear the rest of your strategies for fighting burnout too.
How to deal with burnouts? I mean, shit. Sometimes if you keep, like, we'll be working on a collection, right? And then we'll just be stuck, like, cause execution is everything, you know. So sometimes you're working on it and you think it's ready, but you're just looking at it like, yo, hold on, it's something that's like, you know. So we just like sometimes we take a day off, just be like, yo, let's go do something else, and then you just come back to it, or you put it to the side and then come back to it like a week later, or just do other shit. Cause overall, it's like we don't like to box ourselves either. Like, we do other shit. Like, you'd be surprised to do like music shit, just being outside, or just, but in a creative mode all the time.
Yeah. Stay moving, but when you
Yeah.
hit a roadblock, pivot.
And then
until
just,
it's time.
yeah.
I get that.
Honestly, I think the best way of fighting burnout is having a healthy balance of other things in your life and having fun. I think a lot of people forget, like, at the end of the day, we all do this shit because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, you love doing what you do because you think it's fun.
Sure.
Like, I know, like, for me and, like, my team, like, honestly, like, our thing is, like, fried chicken. Like, it's kind of funny. We're all, like, really into foods and shit. So we all, like, send each other, like, TikToks of, like, oh, like, what restaurant should we try? Or, like, we'll hop on, like, Overwatch and shit. Like, yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. We just be having fun, bro. I think a lot of people forget that.
That's awesome.
Just enjoy life, and things will come, things will go, ideas come and go all the time.
Nothing's that serious.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
nothing's
Yeah.
ever really that serious. It'll be fine.
Honestly, basically the same vibe as you. We'd be at the crib, you know, playing video games, hanging out. Everyone has something creative. I feel like in my crib, whether it's Zappo, grandkids, 4 or 5, you know, other people who come through. The photographers we have who help us out. We kind of like help each other out on different projects, you know, kind of explore like all alleyways of like creative. So I think that it really helps, you know, I don't know, combating the burnout, you know,
Balance,
because
yeah.
you can kind of like put different ideas in different like you know, just aspects of your creativity in different lanes, and I think that helps a lot also too with creativity, because sometimes you just need to take a break, you know, from making stuff, because then you're just gonna keep stuff overthinking it, you know, it's not always gonna come out organically as you want if you just keep pumping out stuff.
I think that's wise.
Yeah. So that's honestly the way I deal with it. So there's some weeks where we're just sitting around on the couch playing video games, you know, just kind of talking and hanging out, you know. And there's weeks where we're like, okay, let's lock in, you know. We're locked in for a couple days just working on the collection stuff, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So that's basically how we combat it, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, same as everyone here agrees, it's just about fun, you know. You just have to be happy doing it, you know.
Yeah.
Once that goes away, I feel like, you know, you're ready for something else or something like that, you know.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you guys again for making the time. Last question. What's something we should be excited for, maybe at the end of the year 2024, something you're excited for that you're working on that we should keep an eye out in the future?
Honestly, I mean, I'm excited about like everything I do, you know, like, I mean, it's the work I put out. So I'm really excited. I mean, more that we're gonna do is more cut and sew stuff. Dealing with more production stuff, dealing with like trying to elevate the style, like their pieces, the cuts, everything. Trying to rebrand a little, to be more like elevated. And I'm excited about that because for me, like I've always liked couture stuff or like high fashion, just stuff that's more like runway, And I think that for me creatively, that I'm excited about that, and I think the people who like our work too will be excited, So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Brandon for sure. Like elevating that brand and finding identity to like what the what's really the brand. Like sometimes like I be thinking like when people ask like what's Ghetto Friends, I'm just like, what is Ghetto Friends? Like
You can always go deeper.
like it's so it's like finding that and yeah, just execution, runway shit, high fashion shit, but like art shit, like not no like I mean I fuck with Paris Fashion Week, but like like there's enough European fashion designers that are like that level. I feel like in the States there's a lot of like creativity, there's a lot of potential, especially within like since COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody locked in and just really figured out what they wanted to do. So
It's a smart one, yeah.
but yeah, just elevate it.
I'm dropping my first collection, like full clothes, everything, this upcoming fall.
Nice.
And then we're doing our first New York. We just did our last pop-up at Summer Smash in Chicago. Everything like sold the fuck out. And then now we're doing a pop-up during Fashion Week. And then starting 2024, this is like something crazy as fuck I never thought I would do. We're doing like a pop-up tour like all over the world. So I booked a one-way flight to Asia. I'm already in like a couple stores in Japan and China.
Is that your first stop, Japan?
Yeah, first stop's Japan. We're doing like 5 pop-ups all over Japan, and then we're going to China. And then I'm just gonna figure it out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're just gonna bool,
That's amazing.
have fun.
That concludes our panel. Give these guys a round of applause. And thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.